beginning of community nights is pretty simple. It was a premise that we got to get the school and the community to know each other a little bit better. The reality is you can have an email, you can call on the phone, but face-to-face is where you're going to actually get to know one another. So can the groups come into our school, the school, get the parents to show up, to know about services, to find out what's available, and then let things go from there.
Having a strong committee of people that are ready to put in the work, that's really important. Having a strong leadership from the school is really important too, because they're the ones opening the doors for us as well.
So at that partnership table, the CISMO and us NFSB said, we'll lead it, we'll find a place, you can help us bring in all the partners, and it just grew from there. Everyone had something that made a holistic approach, and when you put it all together, when you start something, it's hard, but then it just became seamless. Everybody had a role to play. You have to have a strong foundation where you're actually not just partners in name, but partners in action. And I think Community Night embodies partners in action, trying to meet the needs, know the needs, and then offer something that people can take part in.
We're looking at the health and well-being, the emotional well-being of families. Everybody feels better when they know they can reach out to someone. When you don't know what exists, you don't mentally or emotionally help yourself. Like, we've always known of services. I never knew, and I lived in Chateauguay and grew up in Chateauguay, of all these services. So now it makes my job that much easier to be like, oh my God, I hear someone speak, here you go. Or come to community nights. We have a great organization offering a workshop so you can explore.
We've got usually a first meeting with the school where we sit down, we ask like, what's going on in your school? What are the needs of your community, of your family, so that we can then go back and mobilize certain organizations. You might see the impact months or weeks later when an organization calls you back and says, hey, I met someone at that last Community Wednesday. They came in, we had a discussion, and we're supporting them throughout whatever process they're going through right now. But there's also the parents that night that goes up to a new organization, so I had no idea that you existed, and they're ready that night to sign up for the activity that's this weekend. There's things that on the spot that night, you see people get really engaged.
So it's all about the community connections, engagement, and also the big part is connecting our schools, our principals, not just to throw the event with a CDA there and community partners, but to also have the involvement of our staff and our principals, and those that are involved see how important the event is and what it provides. When to choose to host is when, for myself, I will approach them when I start hearing a lot of these needs of food, of finance, clothing, abuse in families, neglect in students. So I'm like, you're asking a lot of these questions. This would be a great event for your school. When the schools are approaching with their needs and to hear that this exists, oh, it's true, we can do a community night. And that's where I kind of sell it, where it's an easy sell, because you have questions, let's bring them into your building so your families can ask these questions.
We have things like the indice de défavorisation, so that could help in prioritizing sort of the needs of which school we might want to go see and reach out to and see if this would be good for them, if they have a higher vulnerability factor. There's other information available to us on generally the populational data that's available to us, and that's sort of based off census data too, but we can break it down to even smaller communities, and that's something that we have access through my colleagues at Public Health in the équipe surveillance. We have data to Enquête québécoise, la santé des jeunes au secondaire. I have information to les jeunes au maternelle, because they get evaluated as they come in. So there's a lot of data that we can go and pull from to sort of see, where the vulnerability factors might be and where can we reach out to as well.
Recently, I had last year Mary Garner's school reach out saying, I need to know what community groups are available. She gave me a list. I'm like, I'm coming with a list. I will make brochures. It was amazing to see the parents acknowledging, well, where is this? Like, where can we find all this? That's where I had an agreement with Mary Garner where we held a Community Wednesday the year after, just to show the parents that these are the resources that are available.
Maybe New Frontiers was there at the beginning, but the goal was to do it with Des Grandes Seigneuries, Vallée des Tisserands, which are the two other French school service centers on our territory, because you want to reach as many people as possible. And it's not because you don't go to this school that you can't come to it. It is open to everyone, but you're initially going to get that family that base of family who's going to come. If you say we're going to have a science fair or showing the kids work at the same time and have the choir who's got to practice for their school play or something later on, but they're going to do a rehearsal that night, the parents are going to come just for that. But you've got them now, and there's all kinds of other things that are going on. So that's where each regroupement from the 4 different MRCs saw the leverageable moments to say, well, I'll do this at the same time or I'll do that.
We really want to make it à la couleur de l'école. We want to make it so that it really reflects that school too. So then we're going to end up asking the principal, is there a way that we can get some of the art that the kids have been doing in art class on display? Is there an activity that the kids can present, like a choir presentation, like a little play if it is, something like that? But we want there to be sort of a reflection of the school itself. And, you know, what in their educational project are they also working on? Is there other works that we can sort of put on display that the school is doing? Is there a PPO that's trying to raise money for something? Are we trying to raise money for a new jungle gym in the yard? Are they trying to plant trees right now and we want people to like donate for something as well, so that, you know, the graduating class of 2026 at this elementary school will have a tree that reflects them in the yard. There's always something that we want to make sure that it reflects that school as well.
And there are some areas that have theme nights where you may have something that's about employability, or you may have something it's about, you know, back to school one time at the beginning of the year. A lot of them during the holiday season have, you know, a holiday themed Christmas one where just the fact where you can go and meet a Santa Claus might be a small thing, but you're going to draw the families to that and not stand 2 hours at a line at a local shopping center where you're doing that. And by the way, you may get a spaghetti dinner and you may learn about some social services that may help you to better improve your quality of life, all at the same time. You have to be conscious of the fact that time is a commodity that nobody has, whether it's our parents, whether it's our partners who don't have a ton of time, sometimes not a ton of staff. Optimize those moments where you can give information, have fun, learn something new, and then put it into practice. This was one of those tangible ways where it was a simple idea. The doors are open, let's fill them with purposeful things and people will come, and then it snowballed on itself.
The students are excited. They're getting to know the resources, not just helping myself or the committee, but they're able to see what's out there. Great to have an adolescent see that the service exists and ask, can we have it? Can we use it? So
Community Nights is a success for an area, for the nonprofits, for the CIS, for the school, for everyone involved. Every one of them by themselves never would have made Community Nights work. You had to have that tripod together, and that tripod to me was health, education, and your social services. Together, they all worked and did their part to make this something that you're reaching families, and hopefully, and I believe through multiple examples, you've made a better quality of life for people that you didn't know at the end was looking for that service, but people still keep coming, and they still keep coming. That to me shows success.